Hey y'all, sometimes I feel like I be looking dusty. I do clean my lens though, so I don't know. We're gonna put on City Beauty. We're gonna do looks 3 and 4 with, I need to stick a lipstick applicator in here. Excuse me, starting already. We're gonna do looks 3 and 4 with the Angela Bright palette from Sigma. And when I was looking at the notes that I wrote for looks 1 and 2, which we didn't go by yesterday, when I was doing the member exclusive live stream, I realized that we kind of really did still just do that look. It was like maybe one thing that was different. And so I found it ironic that I planned to do a certain look and then I didn't do it according to my notes, but it was the look that I was going to do. So I'm just like, okay, that's weird. But this is what I was saying about the eye cream. The City Beauty Brightening Eye Cream, is that it did squeeze out like just a hard piece, and so then I have to kind of get that off of my ring fingers so that I can, because that's not usable. So I don't know like why. Well, I know it does that because air gets in there, but I have other tubes or bottles like this of eye cream and that doesn't happen, and so I don't know why it happens with that one. So that's the only thing, is that there is some, like every other day it will do that, where it'll just dry up there, and when I squeeze it out, it squeezes out onto my finger, and then I just gotta dust wipe that off. So why are we doing this right here? Because we're just going to get this look done. We're going to get this look done. I was just going to do the video, and I said, well, just the eye look, and I said, let's just do it all because I want to get it done. And honestly, I'm mentally tired right now. It's weird and amazing at the same time, like why I'm mentally tired. My thought was to get out of bed at 5 p.m. and I did get up a few times and just do like minor things. I got up, cleared out my sink, because I wake up every 90 minutes or so, and sometimes I do feel somewhat well rested. And so I was like, okay, and I didn't wash brushes after the live stream, and so they were sitting next to the sink, and I still had dishes in the sink. So I think it might have been like around 2 p.m. when I'm like, oh, I'll just clear out the sink, so that way when I do get up to stay up later, I don't have to deal with that. And so I was watching a few videos on YouTube on my phone, and I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and go back to sleep, because I felt somewhat well rested, as I said, but not enough to like get up and start my day. And so I said, I'll just get up around 5 and, you know, start my day. Well, excuse me. Well, I woke up to get up. It was like 8:30? No, it was almost 8 o'clock, and I was like, tag, like what? And had my breakfast, caught up on Bestie's videos, and what else? I watched Michelle's video, and that was kind of it. And then, jeepers, there's this situation ongoing, which it is about to stop, because it's past the point of being ridiculous at this point. And so I emailed somebody back, very long and detailed, because I'm like, So anyway, I have gray hairs in my nose. I was like, is something in there? Yes, gray hair. And so, and that, y'all, I kid you not, my email, this told you how long it was, and I sent it from my laptop. This person sent me an email, and it was fairly long, and the print looked super small on my phone, and there were no paragraphs. So I'm like, I cannot read this on my phone. And so when I got up, I'm like, I'll look at it on my laptop and answer back. And for me, I'm going to touch on what you touched on, which I did say in the email at the bottom, that if I miss something, it's because it was just challenging to read this I didn't say block of information, but when people type a long email and they don't leave paragraphs and they're mentioning different things, it's like, and you're trying to respond to the different things, trying to keep up with what's what when it's all just one block of text. So anyway, that took an hour, y'all. I was just like, damn. And I didn't intend to put that much energy into it, but you know, y'all know I'm gonna say what I need to say. And So we'll see what happens from here. And that's because I had energy. Because I usually am like, when I reply to emails, it's usually like really short. Because I'm just like, And I don't like emailing, I like text. Because emailing, things get lost. And I do have multiple email addresses, like each one is for something different. And that particular email address, it doesn't get used that often. And so during my wake-ups, I'll see an email, but then when I get up, you know, I forget it's there. Or it's down the list because I received, you know, 5 to 10 emails after that. And so I did explain that to this person. I said texting is better because then it's there. Or if they send an email and then I reply to it and they start a separate email thread, but it's mentioning things from the first one, like, okay, now we got like 2 different emails here, and it just gets confusing. But where when you text, it all just stays right there. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I did that. I put on Aliens. I've seen it multiple times. I put that on just as background noise while I was doing the email. And then during one of my wake-ups, I did see the comments to the video that aired today, which was me using MAC products and a sponge to do my face. And I also saw the comments to the member exclusive live stream. And I'm like, I need to deal with this like when I am awake and functional. And so I just did that maybe 5 minutes before I came here. And that's why I'm mentally tired. And it's really ironic, actually it's strange, because, and I love that y'all use timestamps, I really do. I do find though that I have to backtrack a few seconds to get the context. And I realized even when I timestamp, by the time I actually timestamp it, like whatever the person said that I'm referring to has already passed, because it only takes like a few seconds, right? And so what I started doing is when I timestamp it, I will manually backtrack the time like 3 to 4 seconds. And so I'll just backtrack on my video, excuse me, for context. But I really appreciate like all of you watching and the replay crew. Y'all are amazing. And all the comments and the timestamps, because I know it was a lot. And so what's ironic and what is strange, I have an itch right here, is that even though I said all of that stuff, I'm reading the comments and then, you know, clicking the timestamp that you put, and I'm hearing what I'm saying, and I'm just like, oh my God. And it's strange because it's like I talked about all that stuff just yesterday, and that's why I say it's ironic and it's strange that, you know, replying back to the comments and hearing stuff that I said, that I'm just like, whoa, you know what I mean? And so, yeah. And on the heels of that, I thought, because I mentioned my wall, I said I'll take a picture and post that on my community tab, which I did. And yeah, it's just a lot of stuff up there. It's a lot of stuff up there. And I'm not even like, yeah, look at me now. It's just like, it happened, I did it. Like, it's no big deal. It is a big deal, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I did a lot of stuff and I got receipts to show for it, but that was just my life. Those are things I did. You know what I mean? But anyway, so we're here and I wanted to get this look done. And I'm like, you know what? I said, I'm gonna just do the face. It's gonna be really basic so we can just jump into the look. I'm thinking to not even do like, well, you know, I can whip through bronzer, contour, blush, and all that fairly quickly, because I did intend to just do the looks. We're gonna do one each eye again. But I'm like, you know what? Let me just get it done. I'm determined to get it done before tomorrow, and like right now, and it's like 11:20 at night. And so a lot of my stuff on my calendar is going to get shifted to tomorrow, because tomorrow is in 35 minutes. Someone had gave me some deer meat sausage, and it's the butcher labeled it breakfast sausage, but the person said it's good for like chili or putting in sauce. And so I did make chili with it, and it was, I think, 2 of the breakfast sausage containers, and the butcher like free, not, what is it called, shrink wrapped it. And I'm sure it's probably, I don't know if it's, yes, shrink wrap doesn't say right, but it was, you know, shrink wrapped after they butchered it. And so I have, I think, 2 more packs of breakfast sausages. I took one out earlier this morning before I went to sleep, and I took out one of the chops, and I think I have like 3 packages of chops. Y'all, that stuff thawed out already, and I was just like, oh. So I'm gonna cook the chops after this video, and that'll go in my salad. And then tomorrow I'll make sauce and put some in the sauce. So deep level 9, and so that's how we're going to do that. And the chili, I only tasted as I went along for seasoning purposes. I didn't actually keep any out to eat. And when I cooked it, when I made the chili, it was like 2:30 in the morning. By the time I was satisfied that it had simmered and marinated long enough, it was like 3:30 in the morning. And I'm like, I am not eating. And y'all know I put spices. I'm like, I'm not eating anything this spicy this time of the morning. And so, yeah, I didn't even keep one out to eat. So I have like 5 8-ounce bowls or cups, whatever you want to call it, of chili with deer meat in my freezer. And I still have 2 jars of sauce that I made with, I think it was ground chicken from before. And so I'm going to do the sauce and put the deer breakfast sausage in it. And I might keep some out the, I don't know. I picked watermelon bliss. Do I want to? We're not going to use that. I don't know what all that was. Y'all know I'll be making noises. And I don't want to use hibiscus haze. We're going to use pomelo peach. For no particular reason did I not want to use hibiscus haze. So this is pomelo peach. And I'm just tapping like as I usually do. Thanks to Hung Bingo. Did y'all watch his video that I put on my community tab? He is just so soothing, and I like how he explains things and why he does this, and this is going to give this type of look, and I could do it this way, but I'm going to do it this way because like he is just amazing. I'm crushing on him. I am. We're going to take Fire Opal, and we're going to just put that on. So thank you to the members again for watching that and listening to that, because I know it was a lot, and I had said somewhere in the middle, like I didn't think to put a trigger warning in the title, because it's like, okay, that was my life, that's what happened, so it's just like, you know, it's over. But then as I was saying some of the stuff I said, I'm like, this might trigger somebody, and that's why at the end I was, you know, saying I hope, you know, everybody's okay, you know, feel free to message me or whatever, and I did check in on a couple people. But yeah, y'all, but look at me now. They say when you spray, do an X this way, and then go straight down the middle of your face in this way, but I don't. I just tend to 1, 2, 3, as you see. I don't know why, but that's just how I do it. So this is how we do it. That's the song. I talk in songs. Michelle left a comment because I was saying how that brush was jingling, and she was like, "We jingling." No, I was saying it jiggles, and she wrote, what she put? She put "we jingling" or something. I forget how she worded it, and I put "we jingling, baby. Go ahead, baby." And then I put, that's the lyric from a LL Cool J rap song from back in the day. Yeah, my mind just be going places, and I don't even question it anymore. It's just like, that's just, you know. That's what my mind does. We're going to, excuse me for that. We're going to, I'm not going to hold up the palette. I will say what the shades are in case you do have this, but I do think, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're using 12 shades out of this 14 pan palette for both of the looks that we're going to do. So I will just call out the shades. Yeah, and I'm sure we all have these shades. We have browns, tans, off-white, cream colored shimmers. We have oranges, reds, purple. I don't know if this is blue or green, to be honest with you. I don't know. We all have gold, peaches, shimmery browns, another brown, and this I do know is green and like an off-white or a bone color. We all have those shades. We all have those shades. Let's prime the eye. Why did I pull out concealer to prime the eye? Because I'll be tripping. I don't have brushes pulled out. Y'all, speaking of brushes, I was like, damn, this is a lot of brushes. I washed them. These are all the ones that's going to be for giveaway. And I'm just like, do y'all know how much money this is? If they were brand new. But this is a lot of friggin' brushes. But as time goes on, I will post like the ones where we have 4 of. Like if we should do a second, like break the 4s into 2s. And then we have 2. Because there's 3 of those brushes we have 4 of. And I was wondering, and I think I mentioned it when I showed them, if, well, I remember saying I was going to do a post, like for the 3 brushes we have 4 of, to put 2 aside for like the second giveaway winner, instead of somebody getting all 4. And I do know some of you just want a certain brush. And so my thought was also, like whoever wins, tell me which brush, like if you only want like one particular brush, let me know that that's the brush that you want. Or when you do your entry, comment like I'm entering, but I only want such and such brush. So that way if you win, that'll be yours, and the other brushes can go to somebody who actually wants the other brushes. You know what I mean? And I really feel like this is helping me not be so much of a brush whore, even though I still do have a lot of brushes. But getting rid of those, and I did keep 2 of each, because one of them I had 6, one I had 8. I'm like, damn, like what? And I was surprised because I didn't realize I had that many. And so the ones I had like 6 or 8, I did keep 2. But so I think that's what we'll do, is for your comment, if you're not wanting all of the brushes, just say the one that you want, because I want the brushes to be used. They are good brushes, they're quality brushes, they're expensive brushes. Most of the eye brushes were like $24, and I did write out, I think I did put it in the description box, because I went to the website, looked up the number of the brush, what they call the brush, and I put in parentheses, what the brush can be used for according to the different ways I showed you that they can be used for. And I thought that that would be helpful, and I hope that it is. And so, yeah, that's how we're going to do it. Because I do want the brushes to be used and not just get them all and you only want like 1 or 2. You know what I mean? Because I do want stuff to be used. And I wouldn't know. And like if you win, once is yours, is yours. Like I'm not going to check and be like, did you use every one of those brushes? Like I don't even do that. Once it's in the mail, it's gone. Michelle, I still need to mail your other package. I was going to go today. Actually, when I woke up at 8 o'clock, the thunder woke me up. So we had more thunderstorms, lightning, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm thinking it'll be cool tomorrow because it was really hot today. My neighbor, during one of my wake ups, she texted to check up on me. So we were texting back and forth a little bit. And she's like, I'm going to come bring you a surprise. And I was like, oh. I'm like, less than 2 minutes later, knock, knock, knock on my door. Y'all, she had went to the Cheesecake Factory. I know I got loud. I'm excited. And she said she got herself a slice of cheesecake, and she got me a slice of their chocolate cake. If you've ever been to the Cheesecake Factory and you've had their chocolate cake, that slice is enough for like at least 3 people. Like if you eat a serving size, it'll probably be enough for 4 people. And so she was like, enjoy it. I said, I'll enjoy half today and half tomorrow because y'all, oh, that is so good. So let's get into this look. So we're going to take Champagne Problems. I put this on the inner corner in the look we did last night. This one does produce fallout. The other one we're going to put in a lid here, which is where that went last night. So I was looking at this like, this isn't the same look, is it? But it's not, because we're actually switching sides. And so where last night it was 1 and then the 6 over there and 1 and the 6 over there, this time we are going back and forth through the palette. So this one is Hollywood Swingin'. It's just called Hollywood. That's another song. So stuff is gonna have to be shifted because it's almost tomorrow. And I don't even know what today's date is. It is a Wednesday because the members exclusive was last night. And tomorrow is Thursday. We're doing Janessa's look. And you'll see that way before you see this one. Her look that she requested. Members get to make requests. So if you're curious about membership and what the other perks are, click the membership link. It will not join you. It'll show you what the perks are. And then if you want to join, then you have to click something else. So if you want to become a member or just see what the rest of the perks are, just click on that. We will be happy to have you. And as you've already heard, we do members exclusive live streams and member only polls and all that stuff. But now we're going to take, so we're putting 3 shades on the lid only. Okay, so we're going to use hourglass number 3 because they're wide, since we're only doing our lids in thirds instead of fourths, because sometimes, like last night, I put 4 shades across the lid. So we're going to take Autumn. Where you at? We're going to take Autumn. And I was going to say this is like look number 3, but I would say 3, but I always start at this side. So this is look number 3. And this will be look number 4. And not that it really matters. The looks last night, I was surprised they came out so monochromatic. And I didn't even realize it until like after the fact when I was looking at the pictures. And I was just like, oh. Because y'all know I do think monochromatic is very pretty, but y'all know I like colors. I like doing stuff. We're going back with that inner corner brush. We're not putting more shadow on it. We're just pulling it over. So we're getting a blend and bringing some lightness onto the lid. I'm hoping it's not dusty on your end. It's looking cloudy. Clean brush. And now we're going to take Faye. And we're putting that here. So this is how it looked yesterday, but I don't think we put the green next to this gold yesterday. And it's starting out looking monochromatic. So, yeah. So that was my day today. I have a lot of website stuff to do because I really did have in my mind get up at like 5 o'clock and knock that stuff out. Because y'all, when I sit down, and it's like when I used to write more, which I should say write period, because I haven't really written anything as far as like short stories or flash fiction since COVID. Like seriously, it's ridiculous. Or any poetry or anything. But when I would sit down to write, I would lose track of time. And then I would be like, why is it dark outside? Or because I'm writing, in the wee hours of the morning, I'm like, when did the sun come up? And then I'd stand up and be like, why am I so achy? And when I would look at the time, I'm like, damn, I've been sitting here for like 6 hours. And we're going to take that inner corner brush. We're just going to pull that over, again, to get our blend and to bring this over more because I didn't want to take the green further in. And I went to do a simple thing last night, or earlier this morning, I should say, like 3 in the morning or whatever. And I thought it was going to be quick. And it was easy, but it was just time consuming for me, like finding what to click and what to put where and how to edit this and how to do that. And when I looked up, y'all, like 3 hours that went by, and I'm like, damn, what the fuck? And so even if something... reading, like, okay, work on facts. Okay, that sounds simple, right? It'll be hours. So when I do sit to work on my site, it's anywhere from like 3 to 7 hours, like for real. And so I have to, and that's why I put a movie on. Now we're going to take Cold Brew. And so that's why I put a movie on. And if the movie is a half hour, when it goes off, I'm like, okay, that's been 90 minutes. And then, I'll get up and take a break. Because something that sometimes happens is if I spend too much time in front of my laptop, I'll get ocular auras, which sometimes lead to a migraine and sometimes it doesn't. And so I put on a movie and I look at the runtime as a way just to keep track of time. And I put on Aliens tonight, which is 2 hours long. I think 2 hours and 6 minutes. And that's how I know it took me an hour responding to that email. And I think I must have had a burst of energy because I don't write long stuff like that. But it was just something, and I'm like, you know what? Nah, fuck it. We're gonna just say it all. We the shade 2015. This looks like it doesn't pick up much because you see how the brown is here, and this is that purple. Well, you know what? I guess it does, but I mean, it does pick up. But when I look at it on the brush, it doesn't really look like as much on the brush. How can I say it? I'm used to different types of shadows. Like when I use a lethal shadow, it just goes. When I do a Natasha shadow, it just goes. And so this doesn't really travel. And so I do have to keep going back in. The lethal ones that I need to keep going back in, they're like the shimmery ones. And I'm glad that the first pat is not like boom, except when I do inner corner. But for the rest of my lid, you know, I don't want it to get out of control. But I'm realizing right now that even with, and this looks like a satin shade maybe. Because it's not sparkly like these two, but it's also not a matte. So maybe that's a metallic. I don't know finishes. I just know like shiny or not. But this is cute. So if you like greens and purples, this is for you. If you like monochromatics, this is for you. And y'all know I prefer this side because it's colorful. Yo, I was trying to get Bestie to do a black lip. She was talking about it in one of her videos that she was going to do a new lip because the eye was really popping. And she said, she knows that me and Janet, you know, we do, you know, like the colorful lips and, you know, different colored lips. And so I commented, oh, we have 2 transition shades on one side. Okay, and one on the other. So we're going to use E45s. We do have 3 of those. So I was like, oh, a black lip will look nice with that. And she said, baby, a purple. So I wrote back, a dark purple lip would look nice with that eye. So I'm trying to get her to do dark purple or dark shade because she doesn't really do dark lipstick. So we're going to take Peachy. And that's going to go, y'all, this over here is very monochromatic. And looking at the palette, it did look more colorful to me. And maybe it's the purple, that blue greenish shade, the bold orange, the bold red, and the bold brown, and the shimmer green. But it's really kind of basic. I said it. It's you know. And now we're going to take for over here, second half of transition, Shmoo Gala. We're going to take that. That's a matte, like mid-tone brown. And we're going to put that here. Oh, this logo, if you like monochromatic, here you go. Because this looks like something I might be able to do with the bronze palette, even though I did mix it with blue. But it's basic, like I was saying earlier. So. But it's pretty. I'm not going to take that away from it. It is pretty. For this one, really? We're taking basic for a transition over here. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. So this was Peachy and Shmoo Gala. I don't know why I was thinking I used basic already today because I did not. That's why I was like, really? But yeah, it's going on lower lash line somewhere. Oh, this is powdery, kind of puffed up. I'm catching a whiff of something. Is it the palette? Ew, no, it's not. That smells like glue. Maybe it's, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what it is. My makeup trash bag. Sometimes before I eat, I'll take off the lipstick I have on, and I do that here, and I look in this little mirror here, and I take a piece of paper towel and wipe my lips off, and then I put the paper towel in here. I'm smelling one of those Notoriously Morbid lipsticks. And y'all probably like, girl, you be I'm sensitive to a lot of things. And because there's not a lot of scents in here, that when I smell something, I'm like, but what gets me is I'm able to identify it. Oh, check this out, y'all. And this is going to sound funny. Have you ever been around somebody and their breath smelled really bad? And you were just thinking like, what is that? And I'm really trying to think, like when I'm like, that is horrible. Y'all, these shades, this one is like all the way right here. Surprisingly, this one's not giving me a lot of fallout like it did yesterday, but all of this right here is this shade right there. I hit my nose. And I'm just like, what is that smell? Like, what did they eat? Let me know if that has happened to you, where you were really trying to figure out, like, what did they eat? Like, what is that smell? And so it amazes me when I'm able to smell something and identify it, because I was like, that smells nice. And I do say when I put them on, I'm like, this smells nice. Lower lash line over here, we're going to take Faye. Where that at? Where Faye at? That's that green. This is Faye. So that's going to go lower lash line here. Put the brush down, Dion. I didn't do lower lash line in inner rooms, but since we're putting Faye under there, we're going to take this one from NYX, and we're going to see if this will show up on inner rooms. Both of these are both named something different. This is NYX Vivid Rich Mechanical Liner, and the shade is Amber Stunner. This one is an older one, and this is NYX Retractable Eyeliner. And this is an aqua green. And so I don't know about the formulas or what's different or what changed, but they are called something different. This only shows up because it gets caught in my eyelashes. If I put it on my lower lash line, it would show up more. So why am I putting it up here if it doesn't show up? Just because. Because it's like, girl. So we're putting that there, and it really, the only reason I can see it on my lower inner room is because sometimes it gets caught in the root of my lashes. Now we're going to take aqua green. I heard something go. It fell out. This is all that's left. So we're going to put it back in. Oh, all right, it fell. Where'd it go? Where did it go? I heard it when it hit, so it's got to be on my desk somewhere. I don't see it. Because I don't, and I'm wearing my white indoor leggings again. I don't want... I don't want it to get on my pants. Not that it matters because my pants are stained already anyway, my leggings. I don't know where it went, but I heard it fall on the table. And that was it. That was it. I really want to know where the heck it went. Unless it hit the table and rolled off. It did. I see it on the floor, and we're going to leave it there. It's between, well, where one of the feet of the chair I'm sitting in meets the carpet. It's like right there. Actually, the leg of the table, not the chair. Wow. So when I do pick that up, we're just going to throw it away. Wow. So we're going to take this one. This is Perpetual Shock from MAC. No, it's not. This is the last word from MAC. And this is called Color Excess Gel Pencil Eyeliner. So we're going to put this under here instead. Still a green. It's the... Yeah, we're just gonna put this on both sides. I don't have on my notes what shades to put on my lower lash line as far as pencil eyeliner, and so I didn't think that far ahead. I was just looking at the colors because I knew the first two were going to be systematic, one from in the middle column and then 6 on that side of the palette, and the same for the other side. And so this time, like I said, palette funny, and so this time I knew I wanted to go back and forth. So we're going to take Faye, and yeah, that is lower lash line over here, and this is here because I wanted to bring some color to the look and just not have it just brown. You know, I think I'll do a green liner on my upper lash line just to get a little bit more color. Yeah, we're going to do that. So let me know what y'all think about the giveaway idea, like having as part of the comments, like which brush do you really want? And even if you're a brush hoe like me, think about, are you really going to use it? Lower lash line, the other side, Zinfandel. That's that red. That's going to go in the first half. Yeah, that's going to go right there. I do want stuff to be used, but again, like once somebody wins, it's no longer mine. And I need not be concerned if it's getting used or not. I don't want to encourage clutter either, or hoarding either. Cold brew for the second half, and we use cold brew. That's this corner shade. So that's going here. I like this look because it's colorful, and I like how that red and this brown is mixing with, or showing through. Well, that green still shows through, and it looks grungy. Why does this look like it's the same shade? Sometimes it be looking like that. So we're going to tap in that again and bring that out here because it's looking kind of like they're just hanging out nowhere. So yeah. Oh, dropped it. Sorry. I on my lap. My thick thighs caught it. Clank. I try to remember to be like, you want to hear a clank? Excuse me. So brow arches. Brow arches. We're going to take Bright for this side. This is a very basic look. And Bright is a bright shade. Oh, that's nice. This is a nice shade. So if you like brown, tan, monochromatic with a pop of color, here you go. This look is for you. The other side, we are going to take Champagne Problems. I was going to say, did I put transition shade over here? Yo, Michelle be catching everything. It was a video that aired today. Is it still today? Yeah, it's not midnight yet. And I started doing an intro, the one with me with the MAC cream products and doing my faces. I do client faces with the exception of, I still use brushes with clients and not sponges. I did order some sponge wedges. I think I might have put that in, a pinned comment. And also the Mayron Skin Prep Pro, it's a mattifying toner. And I kept saying this is for dry skin. It's not, it's for oily skin. And I put that in the pinned comment because I'm like, how many times did I say this is for dry skin? And then I'm like, I don't have dry skin, but we're going to use it anyways. It's for oily skin. And I put something else in the pinned comment too, but I forget what the other thing was. So I was doing the intro, and then I'm like, wait, did I say that part already? Because I be forgetting sometimes, like what I said or didn't say. And she'll put like, she will quote what I said and then put laughing emojis. I'm like, girl. And it makes me laugh all over again because I say stuff and I just keep going. And so like to look back at somebody saying what I said, I'm like, that is just so funny to me. That is so funny to me. So thank you, Michelle, for giving me laughs. We're going to use the Lethal liners because I went into a green over here. I used to have the Melt potted liner in Fortune, which is green, and then I had it for a long time, so I ended up getting rid of it. So we're going to, but this isn't that deep though. I want something to go with that, and I could just take that pencil and go up there. Am I going to want to do that? Because it's hard for me to get a thin line with these on my upper lash line, but you know what, let's do it because I do want this color up here, even though we put it on and then put a shadow on top. So we're gonna go for it. And when I see like their advertisement pictures, this is used for like upper lash line, and they'll do graphic stuff and everything, but I always put either liquid or most recently the water activated liners. This, okay. It's not showing up much. I don't know if it's from the shimmer shade or if I just need to keep going over it or what. And also I don't like to, you see how my skin is moving? I don't want that to happen, because then it makes the product skip. And I'm not a fan of pulling, because I already have wrinkles and stuff, but this will help me just to go straight across. And so this is another reason that I don't use these. Oh, I see it down here, but looking at where you are, it's just like, did you put anything there? And so I got to keep going over it. This is like, what, my third time? I see it down here. I see it in a mirror down here, but looking up here, it's like, I can tell up here is something there, but it's like, it's not looking bold. I'm not satisfied with that. But, so since we did that, do I have, let's do a MAC. This one is Stay the Night. We don't have a purple. And this will show up like that one. We don't have a, well, we have this light purple, but that, we know that's not going to show up there. So we're going to put this up there. This is Stay the Night. Since we're using pencil stuff. The pencil stuff. Yo, that thing really just fell out. I didn't realize that one was almost done either. Let's get this on. So I can put the brushes back for eyeliner since I didn't use them. And I remember, this is all that's left of this one. But it did not fall out though. This is all that's left. I do have a backup of this one already, and it's right here where the other ones are. Damn. So we're going to have the same issue. Oh my gosh. Because it is so short, I'm feeling the plastic piece. Oh gosh, this. And y'all like, girl, just do what you normally do. Like, why are you insistent on using these pencil liners that you never use for your upper lash line, on your upper lash line? So when I be seeing advertisement pictures, I'd be like, nah, they lying. This is a mess. This in here is looking messy, so let's make it more messy. Let's bring that all the way into the inner corner. It is this. I am like really dragging this across my lid, and this is taking up too much time. Or is it? Because when I sit and mess with the water, and then I do still have to go over the liner a couple of times to get the color to show up the way I want. So it's like, is this really any different? I really like that MAC palette. And it is a difference, the foundation palette. They do need to do a darker one though. And for some reason I think that they're not, because that one has been out for a very long time, and if they haven't done one yet. But then I have the other, we might be able to get one more use out of this. Because I have some of the dark contour and sculpt palettes from MAC, it'll be easy just to mix like a dark brown or like even a black into that deepest foundation shade, which isn't even that deep, to color match somebody. So it is still workable, but still it would be nice if they actually had a foundation palette that was deeper than this one, because this one is not inclusive. It is not. And for it to be MAC, that's kind of surprising, because we know they're inclusive. Even with the LGBTQIA plus community, they're inclusive with that. And so it's like, why not have a darker foundation palette? But then, like I said, they have other stuff you can mix with, but like, why should I have to do that when you can just make another foundation palette with darker foundations? But I really liked it. I know what I was going to say. Using stuff on clients is different than using it on myself, because when I put it on them, I don't feel the formula. You know what I mean? Because it's not going on my face. And I do look at them and I'm like, wow, this looks really good. But it was a different perspective when I did my face. Like, I think that looked really friggin' good. I was just like, oh my gosh. And then I was looking at it too, like, is it really a big difference between this finished look and when I use brushes? And the jury is still out on that one. Like, I'm not sure. Because even now looking at my face, like, everything is still popping. You know, it's not anything really bold, but everything flows. But it was just something with that formula, maybe because it is a powder. Like, there was like this subtle sheen on my face, which wasn't from like the Hourglass finishing powder, you know what I mean? And so I don't know, was it using a sponge? I really think, now that I'm thinking about it, I really think it was just the formula of the creams versus sponge versus a brush. So instead of it being the sponge versus a brush, I think it was just because it was a cream product and the consistency of it. We're going to do our lip. I come to a lot of conclusions when I talk to y'all when I'm doing my face. So even as I'm saying something, like, the answer will just present itself. And so I want to thank y'all for that, for being here for me to talk to. Y'all know I was going to say a black lip. We're not. Do we want to do these again? This would go with this side, but not this one. I'm thinking just do a dark brown. So we're going to take, oh my gosh, I'm looking at something. I'm like, that is so pretty. We're just going to put this dark brown on, because this will go with both. Like, since when do I care if it goes with both or not, right? We're going to, oh, almost dropped it. Glossy lip liner. This is from MAC, one of my newer ones. MAC Lip Glazer, and this one is Root for Me. And we're going to put this on. And the lipstick is a matte lipstick. What if I filled in my lips with this too and just left it? Since this is a glossy lip liner, like, would it look like a gloss on my lips? You know what I mean? This is a nice consistency. Yeah, let's see what happens. Remember when? No, y'all didn't see that. That was also part of the look that I did the first two looks with Angela's palette with Sigma. I used Rune, the black lipstick from Notoriously Morbid, and it got on my top tooth. And I'm like, how'd it get up here? Because I was working on my bottom lips. I'm like, how'd it get up here? But because of the way my lips are shaped, I was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a funny moment. Oh, how do you even do that? Because of how my lips are shaped and where the liquid went. I would not wear this out like this because I can see a dry patch of skin right here. And to me, it's noticeable, which means if I went out somewhere, it would be noticeable if somebody was detail oriented. But I don't like how it looks. And so either put a gloss on or, this is pretty though. So you can use this as a lip liner. It's just shiny. It's a lot to do to get it to get the color consistent, because you see how long this is taking me. It does look pretty though. I'm still seeing some of my lip color through the pencil. And again, it's my lip shade. Like seeing in here, which when I go like this, you don't see it, but then you do kind of see it. So I'm thinking instead of this, let's just take one of the, ooh, this is pretty. One of the MAC lip glasses. And those are also newer. This one would be simple. And this will really go with this eye. So yeah, this is just basic. Aesthetic. It says it's deep brown with red undertones. This one is Accolade, which is described as a golden sheen. Let's just do the golden sheen. Y'all, this is so basic. What is wrong with me? I see a dry patch of skin right there. So this is Accolade. These smell nice. I'm gonna have to look up how to cook venison chops in an air fryer. I have cooked lamb chops in there. Of course, steak. And I was telling the dude before, because my thing was, you got to cook a steak in a cast iron pan and broil it in a cast iron pan. That is pretty. But when I got my air fryer, I started cooking them in there, and I was telling the dude, I was like, you need to try a steak in your air fryer. And he was like, yeah, I'm trying to try it. And it, like, years went by, and one day he was like, D. He was like, yo. I'm like, what? He's like, me and my girl, we cooked steak in the air fryer last night. And he was like, you were right. I was just like, you're welcome. So this is the look. Oh, let me turn the mirror. So this is what we have. I do like the thickness of the lower lash line. Upper lash line color, can barely see it, especially on this side. But in person I can. Looking where you are, it just looks like a dusty pale green line. Very basic, nude, neutral look. So like with the lip, like, yeah, this is it. This is it. Over here is like, okay. So we do have a little color here. What I'm feeling like is, even though there are some bold colors in here, because in person these do look bold, this one looks bold, and I like that this one looks dark. I do like how this one shows up, this inner corner over here. But other than that, I'm like, this is a basic palette. I just thought it was going to be more punch. And I remember saying I was drawn to it because there were some dark shades in here, these four in this one. But then having worn them, I'm like, is it really? In this shade, having to keep going back and forth just to get that. So I'm like, and this look is basic, but I did it and I wrote it out that way. So I tried to do it. I tried to write it out again, switching both sides of the palette for each eye look, but something basic for those who like, you know, monochromatic, everyday type looks, and then, you know, something for color over here, for color lovers over there. But I don't have buyer's remorse. I don't. I do feel, though, that this is more basic than I thought. And I thought these deeper colors would carry the neutralness of the rest of the palette. And so far it's not. Again, this is only the fourth look. We did 1 and 2 yesterday, 3 and 4 today. But I thought it was just going to be more. Yeah, I need to figure out that dry patch on my lips. So, but yeah, this is the look, y'all. Thank you for being here. Stuff is popping up over here, and have time, click something to watch it. If not, you know, just come back on my channel page. There's a lot of playlists. You can pick what you want to see. I do label everything accordingly, so it's easy to find what you want to find. And also let me know about the brush giveaway, that question that I asked earlier. And so thank you, and you will see me soon.